Hey guys, it's Tristan from Team Duo Q. We're about 2 weeks into Festival Collection for Vanguard, and we're about, I'd say 3 weeks away from Set 2 being dropped. But I wanted you guys to see the updated version of like the list I had for Prison. It's kind of different from some people's, but it's mostly the standard stuff. Of course, it's Prison, so we're gonna go over the cards. First off with the ride line, right? I actually have this app called Cardfight Vanguard Plus from Mac and Blau on Reddit. Make sure to check it out. It's really useful for like building decks and showing you guys what the cards do. So first off is Ruby Red. So that's her right there. You run one of her in your ride line, you have to, or you could use any starter you want actually. It's all the same thing. And then we have Kyanite Blue. What Kyanite Blue does is Vanguard Circle, you search your deck for up to one prison card, and then reveal it and put it into your hand and then shuffle your deck. We do not care about the Rearguard Circle ability, as I don't even run any copies of her anymore in my deck, which is one of the first differences from other people. Like, I just like her for the Vanguard ability. I don't really like the Counterblast Soul Blast just to draw a card, and you have to have something in prison. So if you're against like a clan that can starve you off of units and just defends all the Lemon attacks, she kind of becomes useless. And then next up we have Reset Pink here. So her skill, I also don't run any of her in the main deck, but her skill is on place on Vanguard Circle, you just make your opponent prison 1 from their hand, which is always nice. Makes them waste a resource to bring it back. But a lot of the times they'll put like Boba Mines or Mantises or Colossus or anything that they benefit from calling again and again, or anything that they can get rid of for free easily. So yeah, it's not really the best. Like, if there was some other ride, like on ride card that pluses you, I would replace her in a heartbeat. It's not the best card. And then of course the Seraph Snow in your ride deck. This is your last one. Last card in your ride deck. Her skill is Counterblast 1 to prison 2 units, and if a unit is prisoned, she gets power plus, oh, let me change this. She gets power plus 10, and if 3 or more cards are imprisoned, which is a lot easier post Festival Collection, by the way, she gets drive plus 1. So she's really good. She's the main unit. And then we're gonna move on to triggers. Of course, we're running the 1 over trigger, Aldo Breath. It's a really good finisher trigger. It's a really good, I feel like late game the best triggers are this guy and Heater. Early game the best triggers are Brandt, Stoicheia, and then Dragon Empire is just good overall. So yeah, this is one of the best late game triggers. It's really good. You just finish them off with it, and some decks you might even want to run like the plus 100 million, but this one just doubles the power anyways, so there's no reason not to run this. And then for the trigger lineup, we've got 4 crits, 4 heals, another 4 crits, and then the 3 draws. Not draws. I took out the draws actually, and I instead am now running fronts. So 3 fronts, 8 crit, and 4 heal. That's the That's the lineup I chose because the thing I realized about this deck is with the triple drives and the cheval studs and like the grinding down of your opponent, you build up hand advantage fairly consistently against anyone, really, and just makes it good overall. Next one is the prison. You gotta run the prison order because it's the whole gimmick of the deck. You only run one. Some people run two because you might draw it, and I think that's dumb because you also might draw two. And I mean, if you see it in your opening hand, you pitch it, and the grade 1 searches for this, so you only really need to run one anyways. Next up, you run 4 PGs. So 4 PGs, it's just the PG. The difference about this PG and the trial deck PG is you can guard with one of these in your hand if you have 2 or less cards without discarding. So it's really good. Oops. Yeah, it's really good. It's better than the trial deck one. I highly recommend, if you still have the trial deck ones, to grab these. And I lied about only running 4 sentinels, by the way, because we run a fifth sentinel with this card, this order right here. So it's a blitz order, so you can only use it once during your opponent's turn, but we're only running one anyway, so that's never a problem. Some decks you might be running like a lot of blitz orders, like I know Stoicheia runs maybe 3 to 4 Ghost Chase, and sometimes it clogs up your hand because you can't defend with all of them all at once. But this one you only run one. It's just Counterblast 2 and your Vanguard gets plus 30k. Worst case scenario, you just discard this for one of your costs, like writing or a PG, right? But I always like this just in case of emergencies if I can't guard everything, because we aren't running draws and we don't have a lot of cards in our hand. So yeah, this is really useful at 1. Next up we've got Chevalstead. We're running 4 of it. He's really nice. He builds up your card advantage and prisons one, and it's an act, so you can use it again and again. You really only want to see a couple of these in a game and then put them in the back row, call it a day, behind a 15k attacker, and then or a 10k attacker, and then make 18k 23k columns, right? Or if you persona ride 28 38 3, yeah, which is really good numbers. So if you see multiple of these, just guard with some of them. It's 5k shield, easy. Next we're running 2 Bobamine. I know a lot of people run more of this. I don't like it just because you lose the card by putting it into Soul, and there's not really a lot of Soul Blast cost in this deck, especially because the prison, if I go back to this one, this prison on place, you soul charge 3 anyways, so that'll put you set for the whole game. And then you just gotta be smart with your counterblast. If you're really running low, then call this and then use it. If not, most of the time I actually just use this as an 8k booster for the entire game until I need to countercharge. So yeah, Bobamine not really that important in my opinion. Some people would run 4. I don't. Instead I run more defense. So this is actually really nice. What he does is if something is in prison, he gets power +2 or shield +5. So he's extra defense, he's shield +5 as long as something is in prison, which is really nice. That's a 10k shields. It's one of the only 10k shields. So like say Stoicheia is poking you with like 18k attacks from the back row off of a Karis, right? There's not a lot of 10k shields that exist in this game, so this is one of them. So this is really nice. It's a 1 card guard against all of those 18k attacks or 20k or whatever. And then the other nice thing about it is that it's easier to proc now because of Limon. And since I'm not running draw triggers, I need all the defense I can get from other things, which is why I run this plus the one of what is this called? Emergency deployment. So the one of emergency deployment plus these two right here, they will save me from my like very all-in trigger lineup, which is like all crits and fronts, because you know I'm running all crits and fronts and heals. Next up, we're running for grade 2s 2 grapple external. This is one of the many 15k attackers in your deck. I still run him because this plus any 8k booster is numbers are good, right? And numbers are good. I mean, what else can I say? The other thing I can say, I guess, is that there's not really much else to run aside from him. And actually, set 1 before post festival collection, you run 4 of him, just because free power is free power. But right now, there's a lot better cards than him, so I only run 2. Next up, we have 4 of the new girl. New MVP of the deck, makes you getting triple drive much more consistent. Aurora Battle Princess Spark Limon. So Limon's effect is super simple, really. It's just on hit, you choose up to 2 cards, 2 unit cards from your opponent's drop zone and imprison them in your prison. Okay, so on hit, it doesn't have to hit Vanguard. Bet. Kill one of the rear guards that's on place that they don't care about anymore. Chances are they won't block it, and you can actually prison a card from their drop that they maybe discarded to ride, right? And the rear guard that you hit, so that's like 2 cards into the prison. They're both kind of trash. And then just be careful of what you prison from the drop. Most of the time you want to do their triggers, or if they soul blasted their starter, just things that they don't want to see in their hand or on the field. Like if you hit a Fasado with this, you don't necessarily want to prison the Fasado that you hit. So yeah, just be careful of what you prison. It might bite you back, but overall, she's really good. She's the reason why this deck changed a lot. It makes your Chevalstead proc easier. It makes Grapple External have +5 easier. It makes Autonomic Caution get +2 or +5 shield easier. Everything just is better now because of Limon. Next up, we're running 4 Aggro Rouge. This will be a staple card for a while in Prison until like better cards come out, but basically Prison is getting more and more defensive, right? Because they kind of just grind people out and they survive with like getting extra bits of shield everywhere, and then your opponent's gonna run out of resources trying to pay bail or trying to do their combos and stuff on their turn, and then on your turn you just guard with everything that has like, this is 15k, Autonomic Caution is 10k, you have like emergency deployment. Yeah, so you're just constantly guarding everything, and then they're running out of stuff. You're not running out of stuff because of triple drive and draws, and then you grind them out. It's a really fun stuff. And You can even intercept with her in the front row if they have no way to get rid of front row units. Like say you're against Stoikea or something, and then you could just intercept and then gets plus 15. Or not plus 15, plus 10 shield, which is a 15k shield. And then of course you're running 3 Seraph Snow. She's your main girl. Main girl's good. Seraph Snow, best girl. She's literally holding handcuffs, which is kind of funny. And of course you just triple drive as much as you can, get a lot of power for free. And one of the reasons this deck is good actually is because drive checks, more drive checks means more chances to hit over trigger. And hitting over trigger is basically game ending or game changing. And then you're running 3 of this guy. He's a 15k attacker. Another tip with this guy is even though your opponent doesn't have a board, you can Soul Blast 1. And then he gets plus 2k power. And then he's 15, and then you stick an 8k behind it, make it 23 or 33k column, depending on if you persona right or not. And then, yeah. He's really good. I like it. He's a big guy swing every turn, and then he can prison a card every turn as well. It's an act, so you can reuse it. He has like board presence threat, like maybe people would attack him because he's annoying, right? And yeah, that's it for the prison deck post festival collection. Set 2, I actually already am theory crafting lists, and let us know if you want to see that before set 2 even comes out, but if not, I'll just drop it as soon as I get the cards and then show it to you guys. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, do whatever. If you actually like the video, then like it. And I'll see you guys whenever the next video is. Bye-bye.